Richthofen. Richthofen. Whatever. I tried. I kind of remember vaguely, sort of. All right, so the MVR, the Tier 10 German CV, has AP rockets, AP bombs. The AP bomb reticle is a little sus, but it's functional enough for battleships. It's just not going to give you consistent triple citadels or even consistent double citadels. But you should expect something like 9 to 17,000 damage on a drop. If you get citadel interactions, it's pretty punishing. AP rockets are a German specialty where you can strike in and get citadels on cruisers. Depends on what the cruiser is, but still, it's an option that you have. All of these planes are very maneuverable and also very fast, but they don't have a lot of health. For the first two slots, we have the plain ones because there's nothing interesting there, unless you wanted to take damage control party and look to brawl with secondaries. This is an option, as it would take it from 60 seconds up to, I believe, 84. So if you got into a brawl situation, you'd have roughly a minute and a half of damage con, preventing fires and module end caps and stuff like that. In slot 3, I do take secondary battery. I don't need additional attack time, and I don't need additional torpedo speed. The German torps are exceedingly fast and very quick to arm, so they're very accurate for what they do. I don't need to buff that at all. Additional health on the rocket planes, why? Because we have a heal on the torpedoes and the bombs, which are going to carry those resources forward, while we're going to be looking for citadel interactions. Because we can preserve these resources, but not this, I'm sticking the additional health there. We have flight control mod for 2 additional planes and bonus regen. Now I could take squadron consumable, which would give me longer fighters as well as longer heals on the torps and the bombs, but it does not give me more rockets. Flight control gives me more rockets. It gives me 2 additional at the start of the game and potentially another 1 over regenning throughout the duration of the game. So as it gives me a more balanced loadout for randoms, I'm choosing flight control. And then lastly, we have speed and health. Speed is influence. Health is potentially an additional resource back. There's very little health on the German planes to buff, so I tend to go with speed for the influence. For the German commander, more faster, healthier, base 9-point build for every CV, because I really don't care about any of the damage talents. I don't really care about sight stab. The torps are do very little damage. I don't need faster bombers. There's not really any options over here I care about. So I take additional secondary strength, and with the remaining points, look to put points into fighters. I could actually move even more if I decided to take things out, but I have an additional heal charge here because we have a heal on the torpedoes and the bombs, so that gives me 2 additional consumable charges instead of 1. Plus it makes them last a little longer. And we have more boost, last gasp, which works well for 3x3 formations, and engine techie, which is a little weird. But this is useful if you're sitting on the same plane choice. Also, I think you get 3 boost consumables as opposed to 2 with other normal lines. So you can cycle a little faster, I suppose. And we have an additional fighter charge across our 3 planes with larger patrol. As far as flags, I shouldn't have any except for maybe a secondary flag and a reduction in service cost. Looks like I have a flood flag, but I can demount that, and this is all I'm going to use. Involuntary Soul. I did a midway game earlier in the broadcast. So if you wanted to go back and watch that, I think it was the second game that I played, or maybe it was the third game that I played. I'm not really sure. Maybe it was the first game that I played. I think it was the first one. But anyway, it was a good game. So if you wanted to go back and watch that, you could catch a midway game from earlier in this stream. Okay, so for the MVR. We can get citadels on a Des Moines, Worcester, Stalin. So all of these, we have citadel threat with our rockets. We have citadel possibilities against all 3 of the battleships, so that's nice as well. Realistically, this can citadel any battleship that's on the field, but French battleships are extremely hard to get citadels into. 4 destroyers, which is a lot of destroyers, and then also a Belau, which will be somewhere. And I don't think I can citadel a midway anymore. I don't think that exists after the rocket angling change. Alright, so we start out with the rockets so that we can move quickly to get information and spotting. I'm going to drop a fighter at the top of A, so in case any destroyers trying to go in to contest A will be lit, or at least forced to have some kind of spotting interaction.
Good luck, everyone.
But the Elbing does not care, he's just going to leave his AA on, so some people might take pot shots at him as he moves forward, but I don't know how that's going to work. We haven't seen a Des Moines, we haven't seen a Worcester. We might be able to have some shots on them. Which I probably pre-drop here for in the anticipation of that. Des Moines or Worcester should be going hard south. And very maneuverable rocket planes. Going to allow us to slide into the side. We got 2 citadels, so 10,000 damage into Worcester, which is pretty significant, although it could have been better. And we got 7 spotting, 7 spots. Now there are 5 very hard to spot things. There's the Des Moines. But we did pre-drop. 2 of those planes got out too, so we only spent 4 planes to get 10,000 damage, which is a fairly good exchange. Gonna go ahead and drop this, and we're gonna use our heal to try to get through to the Stalingrad. And then possibly strike it a second time on the other way out. It's not going to do huge damage, it only does like 9k, but it's fairly accurate, fairly dependable. Pop the engine boost, we're going to run around and circle up into his side to try to have a little more damage into the Stalin, which does have radar pressure as well as excellent guns. I didn't lead enough, I only get one hit there, which really sucks. He did slow down, but we were also too close, so we just get the 1. That was poor play. It's on the Yoshino. Okay. Could try to strike the Worcester. I think he's going to tuck in on the island. Gearing might get spotted as we go over that. But we'd also be taking AA damage for free to get to the Worcester. But we have an engine boost here. I think we can ride up this channel and strike the Worcester. I think that's a possibility. I just don't want to get murdered by the gearing while I do it. I'm going to pop the engine boost. It lasts 10 seconds. Quite a significant period of time. Maybe we can surprise him.
Fighter airborne. I need intelligence data.
Try to aim low in the water for the Worcester, as the Citadel is mostly underwater. Did another 10k, and we can burn off over the island to get free of the AA. Not great, could have been better, but doable. I still have bombs here, which I really should get into rotation, which I think is what I will do. I don't much have torpedo threats, plus our heal is still cycling. It's still on cooldown from our earlier use on the Stalingrad, so maybe we can bomb the Yamato or the Stalin. I suppose we could also bomb the Worcester. Don't really have good interactions on the stuff that's tight in the islands, though. We will work on the Yamato. We do have a heal for this. The Des Moines is going to be on top of him at the same time, which will suck. Maybe that spots the Des Moines. It does. We're also going to get pinched by the Stalin too. Going to be even rougher. Does he drop a fighter? He should have. Pop the heal before all the planes get murdered. Place the reticle behind the target. Slam on the brakes. Actually, I overshot because he was just going very slow, so we don't get any citadels there. It's kind of panicky because of all the AA, but at least the Yamato probably goes down here. We can re-angle. I'm not going to sit around on this. I'm just going to bail. Let's take rocket plane, see if we can get something in on the Des Moines.
Roger.
I suppose we could try to get something in on the Worcester again, but flying across all that stuff in the middle is pretty daunting. I think I can also start to move up a bit.
Mode enabled.
Requesting support.
Our Balau is dead. He's at operating depth, which means he'll be spotted by the Hydro. Elbing actually has some pretty consistent armor. We might get pens here instead of overpens because of how he angles. We do, so we get some actual pen damage. Normally, we would get overpens against destroyers, but if we can strike an angled destroyer or a destroyer with thickened armor... That might be too much of an angle. Got some damage in on him. Probably just gonna have to be ready to drop a fighter.
Destination reached. Autopilot mode.
Drop the fighter. Elbing is down. Maybe our destroyer, or sorry, our sub. Bruh!
Teammate, I need your support.
Capture that area.
Haha. Des Moines getting pummeled. What can I work on here? Maybe I can drop a fighter for the Balau? Which is what I guess I have to do. He's at Periscope? Yeah, he's at Periscope depth. It's fine. I don't have enough rockets to deal with this. They're grouped up. Kerfurst is pushing. We could bomb that, only I just recalled the bombs. Hopefully he gets clapped by the Shima. Looks like he's going to. This is way over pushed. Yeah, he's going to get dunked by depth charges at this range. Well, maybe not. He might actually out-accelerate them a little.
All stations retreat.
Alright. Can we get Torps into the Yu Yang? I could have fightered for the Des Moines Gearing. May have to do that in the future. I don't know if the Yu Yang knows we're here. A little bit of spread there. Might not be, might not have led enough. You got a single hit. Unfortunately, German torpedoes do not do very much damage at all. Drop a fighter to keep him lit.
Fighter
Come on, planes! I have no idea. But we can hurt the Stalingrad. We could bomb him, we could rocket him. I need to know where the Des Moines is. Then again, I should probably work on the
Fighter destroyed.
Kerfurst that's just charging forward. Fighting everybody? No. Alright, we can bomb the Stalin. We have a heal up for this. Stalingrad is basically a mini battleship. Gearing is getting hurt. With the sub down, I think we push forward and actually pull fire onto us. We do have a health lead, which is nice. Yeah, this is the Transformer camo that was recently released.
Fighter airborne.
That might hurt. We got a single Citadel there, so it didn't hurt very much. And with him having defensive fire, I don't think I get another shot there. We will take rockets for maybe swinging around the island onto the Stalin or the Des Moines. Okay. Gonna have to save up boost for the commit, or for the strike, although we do have an engine boost, so we might just use that. Still, going into Stalingrad and Des Moines AA is going to be particularly tricky. This is the island he's behind. We can drop a fighter to give information, and we'll hook behind the island. There we go. He's fairly stuck, so I think we can do 7k to a Stalin. Unfortunately, we're not going to have more rockets for the Des Moines. Shit. He angled just enough. Maybe the Yoshino will be able to bite him. And they're off really on the edge of the map, so I think we're just going to keep fighting for this. We get any rocket planes back there? Stalingrad, Des Moines is quite a lot of AA. Pop the heel, pop a fighter for spotting.
Fighter airborne.
The one torp in the middle might actually be recessed enough to hit, but it's not going to be enough. However, if I can get this drop, it will be a kill. Or they can take the kill, so that's fine too. Do we have any rocket planes? We have 5.
Our team has taken the lead.
Something like that. Keep pushing. can get AA and secondaries into effect, or at least just to claim the space. Might get hits there. I think we do. We do. I don't have any more engines boost though, so I need to be jealous of my engine boost for when I commit in on the Des Moines. And of course he can just turn out, which will be a problem. So we're gonna have to get ahead of him. So let's just go ahead and do that. We'll commit to that. Get into this area so that we can either have him turn broadside to Yoshino or away or something, or that we can get a, you know, sideward strike in. Save up our boost here. Don't have fighters. So we could potentially get some really serious damage in on the Des Moines. It's probably about there, right on the water line with the mid. We got 20.1, which is quite an oof. He should be, well, I guess he's not spotted, but I'm running out of resources here. Might be able to bomb the Montana. Okay. Let's try to get the Des Moines taken care of. Yeah, the Shimikaze will need support, especially because he's leaving his AA on. I'm over here, but ooh, does the Des Moines take shots at the Shima?
Fighter airborne.
I need to pull the Des Moines away from the Shima. He's already turning. I could have gone in on that line. Engine boost. That might be a kill. I think he takes 2 of those. Maybe not. Might be a kill. That was a kill. Midway probably hard bailed. There's a sub in mid. Let's try to spot the sub.
Autopilot mode enabled.
You have to wait until I ask, Fox. Okay. Gearing is in mid. Okay. Because we had 2 planes that were damaged, I went ahead and popped the heal. Boot.
Our victory is in sight.
He goes down soon, yeah? He's leaving his AA on, so yeah. I actually could have taken the bombs and followed through to the Montana, because I'd only used 3 there. And
Dead ahead.
Vermont eats 3, actually. It's quite a bit. Montana is dead, which leaves the Midway. I don't think we considered all the Midway anymore. I think that was removed. Pretty sure that was removed, actually. So, I don't think I'm going to go out with the rocket planes. I'll just go out with torps to get a little bit of chip damage in. It's not going to be anything crazy. Yeah, Sky Shark. The planes that they use for the carriers, I've heard some people saying that they're just like, these are not carrier planes. So, obviously the skin looks like an F-15 or whatever, but the planes that they chose, that Wargaming chose to put on the carriers, probably wouldn't work on a carrier, which is a little silly, but I mean, it is a game, so as long as it's functional, you know. Do I like the MVR? I've always liked the MVR. I've never been at a point where I wouldn't play it. I played the MVR as my most played ship in the Tier 10 clan battle season that we had prior to the Tier 6 clan battle season that just ended. And that was after the bomb drop nerf. So I didn't play for damage, I played for utility. And the MVR excels at utility. Because she's very fast, she's very responsive, and she can be quite precise.